Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. When I was young, I had a best friend who lived in the neighborhood, and we did everything together. And I mean everything. Every picture of me from when I was little, it's me and him. Every trick-or-treating, every holiday, every lost tooth, every garage sale, lemonade stand, hide-and-go-seek, manhunt, mischief night, you name it, it was he and I. He was my confidant, my best friend, my brother, my neighbor. I had my first fist fight with him when I was in like second grade. We snuck Jolly Ranchers and poured bubbles in our soup. I mean, you know, we did everything together. When I went off to college, it was heartbreaking for us because we stayed, despite our age difference and different groups of friends in high school, we were always best friends. My freshman year of college, I went home and I noticed he was having a party. I mean, we only lived 2 houses down from each other. And he knew I was home, but I wasn't invited, and I couldn't understand how that could even be possible. But then there it was, party rockin', 2 houses down, no Jamie. I called the house phone. Somebody answered, one of his friends from high school. And I said, can I talk to him? And they said, he's busy right now. Busy? So after a little while, I thought this must be an oversight. So I just walked over to I walked the same trek I had been walking for 17 years. I walked the same sidewalk 2 houses down, walked up the same driveway that I learned how to ride a bike, skinned knees, sold things that I found in my mother's basement. Walked up to the front door and went to open it like I had so many times in my life, and it was locked. I rang the doorbell, and after a few minutes, I could hear like whispers and talking behind the door. He opened the door. And immediately I knew something was different. And while I don't remember all the details of exactly what happened, I remembered the feelings. You know, because that's what they say. You don't always remember what people say, but you do remember how they make you feel. I remember feeling like a stranger in a house that I had grown up in. I remember feeling like the girl that everybody was talking about. Like, oh, she actually showed up. What is she doing here? Did she not get the memo? Was the fact that she wasn't invited not loud enough for her to know she wasn't welcome? And me being the confident college student at that point, and these being juniors, sophomores in high school, I thought, whatever. I'm going to stay until somebody acts normal. But nobody did. Not him, not his friends, nobody. It was like the stepmother that had come home too early and ruined the party. So after about a half an hour, I politely excused myself and walked the trek back to my house. It was only 2 houses, but I cried the whole way. And it was the most painful cry because I knew that I had been purposefully excluded. Something had shifted. I didn't know what. And our friendship was over, and it had been decided without me. So the person who I loved more than anyone else outside of my family, the person who I told when I got my period, the person I told when I had my first kiss, the boy that was there for me when my father died and sat with me in my house in silence until I could speak a word, had decided he didn't want to be my friend anymore. With no explanation. Not so much as it's not you, it's me, or It's not working out. Exclusion, no matter how old you are, is one of the most painful things. You know, when we're young and we're excluded from a sleepover or something like that, it feels like the end of the world. But the truth is that even when you're an adult and people are getting together for dinner or whatever, and we're forced to see all the celebrations going on in social media that we're not invited to, it robs us of our joy. Because instead of celebrating all the things we do, all the things we are invited to and included in, we focus on the ones we're not. Exclusion is a natural part of life. Humans are pack animals, and they want to go with like-minded, like-emotioned people. That is why countries band together at time of war. That is why, unfortunately, when one person is excluded from something, the people that attend tend to all talk about the fact that one person was excluded. Everybody wants to feel included. And I know that there are a lot of people out there who have feelings like I have. They've been excluded or rejected or expelled from a group or a friend, and they don't understand why. Friendship doesn't have the same rules that romantic relationships have. There's usually no actual breakup, like, hi, this isn't working out anymore, I'm breaking up with you. It tends to be that one person pulls away, the other doesn't understand why, and then when they see each other, they're polite, but it leaves one person scarred. It's like open wound, open wound, open wound. To this day, I'm 38. That happened when I was 18, 20 years ago. To this day, I still don't know why. I've had many people try to come up with hypotheses, and I've tried to come up with things on my own to make myself feel better. I've told myself stories as to why he would have done this. But the truth is, I don't know why, and I understand now that I never will know why. That's part of the pain, which is why I get so emotional about it when I talk about it now, because I have no closure. In friendship, there are no real rules to say goodbye. Sometimes somebody is emotionally draining, too demanding, too needy, and it becomes a burden on us. It's no longer, it's like the giving tree. All they do is take, 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 and our leaves are bare. Our branches become bare, and eventually we get tired of that. Friendship is meant, you're supposed to pour into someone and let them pour into you so that both of you can stay fulfilled. Friendships where one person is jealous or controlling, exhausting. Nobody wants to be friends with the girl who is jealous and woe's me, you never call me, how come you always call her? Nobody wants that. Also, nobody wants to be part of the marital strife, the friend who's always got issues in her marriage because you feel like you can't say anything because one minute you're comforting her about what a crap her husband is, and the next minute she's inviting you and your husband to meet them for dinner, and it's like you don't know what to say or do because you don't know where they stand. That friendship becomes exhausting as well. Luckily for my husband, he's not affected by anything. If we're not invited to something, he doesn't even notice, and if I bring it to his attention, he's like, great, can I watch whatever golf I TiVo'd? Men don't have the same emotional connection to relationships that women do. If you are thinking about ending a friendship with someone, try to do it with as much grace and explanation as you can. I know it's not always easy. If you are feeling cut off, left out, excluded, know that you're not alone. And the beauty is we're not in 5th grade anymore, and this is not a pajama party that we weren't invited to. We can find other cool kids to hang out with as adults and shift to find people who have more in common with what's happening in our life right now. It's not to say that we should become enablers, but just know that it isn't the end of the world. But some of them still hurt. I love you today. Have a great day.